Hello and welcome to season 2 of the Hey Tori podcast. So I'm really excited to dive into a second season. So if you have listened to the first one, it was kind of a getting my feet wet type of season. It was mainly to help those who are curious about what it's like to be in my signature program, to kind of give them an introduction to what it is and to answer digital marketing questions. So with the reviews and the feedback I received from the first season, it was so positive and so encouraging that I'm bringing back the Hey Tori podcast. But I'm making it public this time and with a different scope. So I'd like to widen it a bit, and I'd like to open this up and focus it on still on marketing for small quilt and craft businesses, but also bring in maybe a little bit more of the business side. I'd like to bring in guests to speak about who they are, what they're doing in their business and um, for their business. I'd also, I think I'll speak a little bit on business models because it does overlap a bit with marketing and generally helping small businesses with visibility, searchability, and with a little bit of that coaching. So I'm planning to launch episodes on Fridays for this season, and we'll see how it goes. So today we have a topic that I'm thinking of doing a short series on, which is about a topic that is near and dear to my heart, and that is teaching, but also putting a marketing lens on teaching and what that looks like. So one thing I hear a lot in the quilting universe, and I'm sure is universal in many crafting industries, is the phrase, someday I'll teach a class. It's always someday. If you've thought it, maybe you said it out loud to a quilting friend or typed it into your notes app and never opened it again. Someday usually refers to when things calm down, or someday when you feel ready, or someday when you know just a little bit more of what you do. But here's the thing about someday, it's not a date on a calendar. It's not a goal. It is a way of putting off something that you want to do, that you have everything you need to start, but there's something getting in the way. So I'm hoping that this series that we're going to dive into for the first part of season 2 is going to help remove some of those barriers for you if you're interested in teaching, but also one of the biggest objections I've run into is how to get students in a class. Now, this is going to apply to you whether you're teaching in person or online. So today we're turning Sunday into now. I'm Tori McElwain, and this is the Hey Tori podcast, answering your digital marketing questions for creative entrepreneurs. So once again, welcome back and welcome to season 2. So if you're new here, I'm a digital marketing coach, a quilter of over 20 years, and I run the Digital Marketing Magic Coaching Program, or the DMMC, for quilters, crafters, and creative entrepreneurs. This show is now public, and I could not be more excited to be back in your ears. And I wanted to kick off season 2 with something again close to my heart because this season opens with a series built around my book, Workshops Unleashed: How to Design Engaging and Successful Workshops for Quilters and Crafters. So we're going to dive into teaching and helping teachers. So we're going to do a short series. So today I'm going to go into the what and the why of teaching, like why you might want to, what does it entail, and look inside the book itself. The second episode, we're going to talk about marketing that workshop. So I'm going to set you up for success when it comes to actually marketing the workshop. Now there's 2 paths you can go down to start, but they come together and they work together. And then the last one, I'm going to bring in a guest, maybe 2. I've reached out to a few people who have taken the Workshops Unleashed book club and asked them to come on and talk about their experience with their business, their models, and how they marketed, plus a little bit about the book club. So if you're curious about the book Workshops Unleashed or the book club, you'll hear more about it. And this book doesn't require like the digital marketing magic coaching. It stands completely on its own. That's the way I designed it so that you could take it and again, build that business. But a lot of people who finish the book club, they come looking for what's next. So today, though, this is just about you, your skill, and the class you keep putting off. So I hear some version of this consistently. I have a skill that people ask me about all the time, but I don't know where to start, or I'm scared no one will show up, or I don't know how to find my students. So maybe that's for you. Maybe your skill is free motion quilting. You're really good at it. You're interested in teaching. Everybody's asking you about it, but you keep putting it off. Or maybe it's paper piecing or English paper piecing or a specific technique you've quietly gotten really good at. But whatever it is, that hesitation is the whole reason why I wrote this book. It's the whole reason for these next couple episodes for this series. Here's what's usually going on when someone says someday and they're truly interested in teaching. It's not that they lack skill. Usually they're overqualified. They have amazing skill. Usually it's rooted in overwhelm, and overwhelm is typically rooted in fear or anxiety. Many times they are overwhelmed by what they could teach. They don't know what to teach. They're stuck on maybe one specific question, or they don't know where to find their students. So the whole thing stays a maybe instead of becoming an actual plan. So in my experience, and this is the belief the whole book is kind of, well, maybe not the whole book, but it's really what I am very passionate about sharing. And teaching is one of the most direct ways to turn a skill that you already have into revenue. You're not designing and then producing and then shipping a physical product before you make a cent, right? You're not building an audience from zero before anyone will pay you. And that has to do with like content creation, being paid for the content that you're creating. You already have the skill. And then teaching lets you monetize that right away. And it monetizes what's already in your head, what your hands can already do. And you can start now. So let's actually open the book up because I built it to take you from I have no idea what to teach all the way through your first launch and how to stay in touch with those people who don't actually pay it right away. So it's got 4 parts. So the first one is design your workshop. This is where we start because you can't market a workshop you haven't designed yet. You'll build your curriculum, so what you're actually going to teach inside the book. It walks you through your objective or your goal and what you want to teach and how to make that very clear for yourself and for your students, your methodology, so how you actually want to teach the parts that need to be taught, what content that you'll have within your class. And I walk you through writing all of those pieces, right? The clear objective, deciding if you're teaching live or recorded, teaching in person or online, and how to price with my Price to Thrive approach, which is about pricing for the value of your expertise and not just the hours that you spend in front of the student. The second part is to elevate your workshop. So once your workshop exists, right, you have an outline, you have the curriculum in mind that you're going to teach. This is where you read the next part, which is, again, elevate your workshop. This section, it pushes you from the basics of covering a decent workshop where they're going to learn to have fun to elevating the experience. It really takes you through some ideas on how to improve from here. The next part number 3, is your student's journey. This is the marketing. So this is the marketing backbone of the entire book. It's a full strategy that guides students into your workshops from your very first post or when you write the description for your newsletter, or if you've never taught before, if you're interested in teaching in person, this can help you write up a flyer, that kind of thing. It walks you through the start, through consistently welcoming new students, including how to pitch yourself for guild lectures so your calendar hopefully stays full. Then number 4 is all the helpful add-ins. So those are the templates, the worksheets. There is a hidden bonus. The book is full of all these real stories and hands-on exercises, plus a full resource section of templates. So you're not starting from a blank page. And if you've already bought the book, there's a bonus, again, that private podcast called Meet Your Colleagues, where you'll hear from other instructors who have turned their craft into actual income. These are all teachers who have taught either part-time or full-time in their business. Okay, so now you have an idea of what the book is about. You have an idea of how it leads you through there. You even have an outline for yourself if you want to just take what I said and start work from there. Write an objective, write out your curriculum, what you're going to teach, and start reaching out to people, start sharing about it. Now, you don't have to figure out any of this alone, and you don't have to spend a ton of money to get going. So I do also have a free workshop guide. If you are like, hey, this book sounds interesting, but I don't really know if I want to spend that amount on your book right now, you can always go download the free workshop guide. If you like that guide, then you're going to love the book. Okay, the second one is the Workshops Unleashed book club. So I designed the book club to keep you accountable. Now there's a free option and there is a paid option called the Business Intensive. So the free option, I run it twice a year. It's emails and and a Facebook group. So you come in, we post, and you post for accountability under each of those posts for the week. You have homework to do. We go through the book a section at a time, and it's about 40-ish pages per week. So it's really doable. I break it down to bite-sized pieces. I'm constantly in the group answering their questions. And then you get through the book with a group of people who are cheering you on. Now, if you want more hands-on, there is the Business Intensive where we meet on Zoom, and there are giveaways attached to that with a grand prize of actually joining my digital marketing magic coaching program under the basics tier for about 6 months, not about for 6 months. That's a grand prize. But all of it, you get a free Facebook community, like I said, but you also get a bonus called the Lead Magnet Masterclass. So many times when we are teaching online, we need to be marketing online, and we get really good traction with email still. Like I've talked about that a lot on this podcast in season 1 about how email is still the number one conversion platform that we use. So this lead magnet masterclass will teach you how to create a lead magnet to get more people on your email list so that every time you have a workshop available, you can share it with the people on your email list. Now that I would encourage you to share whether it's in person or online, because you never know who's on your email list, especially if you've been working in person locally and getting people on your email list. You may find that a lot of people on that list are ready to work with you in person. So next, I want to tell you about Darla, because this is exactly what someday becomes today actually looks like in real life. So full disclosure, Darla is my mom. And she came to me when I was teaching consistently online and in person at my local shop, and I was receiving Quilt Guild lecture contracts to teach around the country. So she approached me and was like, hey, I would like to do what you're doing. She was running out of time to do her clients' quilts, and she had a lot of people asking her about her skills. Now, she was a expert in free motion quilting. So she runs the machine like she drives a car. She is constantly on it. She does amazing work. She does a lot of show quilts and things like that. She's slowed down a little bit because she retired and she's taken some time for herself. But at this point, she was looking at retirement and how to scale her time, really. She wanted to make a little extra money, a little extra revenue, and be able to serve her clients. So in one way, she thought that she could teach them to free motion quilt their own quilts and be like their mentor and be their teacher. So she came to me, and what ended up happening was I sat down and I wrote out an entire framework for her. And that framework turned into the book Workshops Unleashed. So she took that framework, and together, because we were at QuiltCon together for about 4 days at this point, and every afternoon, I was pregnant. Again, full disclosure, I was pregnant when we were doing all this. So I wasn't able to walk like I normally would like to walk. So we took the afternoons to actually sit down and work through her course. And we did it in 2 afternoons. And then one more afternoon to figure out a launch plan for her. And that's how she launched. So she took my framework. She launched via Instagram. We built an email list and we launched this class. During this launch, her local guild started reaching out to her. And from that one workshop, she generated $1,600 and picked up 4 separate guild program invitations. It took 2 afternoons to design it, 1 afternoon to design the launch, and then she ran with it. And that someday to right now happened in 2 weeks. So that's why I say that this can be one of the quickest way, the fastest way that you can make money from your skills, because I've seen it happen. Now, if you do decide to join the book club, we do take 6 weeks to go through the book. Usually it takes a little bit longer to really understand the marketing parts of it, which is totally fine, but that's why we have the extra time. Okay. So here is your Hey Tori takeaway. So I want this. I would encourage you, if you're interested in teaching, to take 5 minutes to grab a notebook or open the notes app on your phone and finish the sentence. People already asked me how to, and fill in the blank. That's it. Don't overthink it. Don't decide yet if it's good enough to teach. Just write down the real answer. People already ask me how to blank. That sentence can be the start of your next class or your first class. And in this book and in this series that we're doing in this podcast, we're going to grow it into an actual class with an actual plan. So you already heard the basics. We're going to go write a goal for the class, write out what you want to teach, and then pick a platform. And next week, we're going to go over how to launch it. So if today made you think about that skill you keep meaning to teach, that workshop that sounds really fun, but you haven't started it yet, Workshops Unleashed, my book, will walk you through designing it, help you price it, and help you launch it from start to finish. So you can grab it wherever you get books. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or bookshop.org. And links are in the show notes. And if you want company while you work through the book, you can join the free Workshops Unleashed book club. Or if you want a little more support, you can join the Business Intensive. We kick off on July 18th of this year. If you're listening to this, we typically launch this book club in January and July. So keep an ear out during those times for it to run again. It's about 5 weeks. Again, we have a free version and a paid version. If you do not, and you do not need to have read the book first. Sorry. I always have notes. I always have notes. So sometimes I skip around them and I'm like, wait, I forgot to talk about that. So you don't have to read the book first. We are going to read it together. This book stands completely on its own. You don't need anything else to finish it, but if you get through it and you want some ongoing support with your marketing after your workshop is built, that's exactly what we do inside the Digital Marketing Magic Coaching Program. Next episode, we're getting into the 2 ways to start marketing for your first or your next workshop. I'll see you there. So until then, keep creating, keep teaching, and remember, someday can just be today. So I'm Tori McElwain. I'll talk to you soon.